Great. Okay, so we are live. Today is the first of 3 in a series of what we're calling our finale for the summer. Today we're showcasing the work done this summer by students of Google Summer of Code in particular, because their deadline is a little bit earlier than Code for GovTech's DMP program. So they are going to show their work this week and next week. And today, specifically, we have music blocks and Sugarizer projects. So we're going to hear from 5 different students who have been doing their work this summer. We're going to start with music blocks projects. We're going to start with khadar. And I suppose we should probably just jump into it. So khadar, can you show us what you've been working on?
Yeah. Okay. Hello everyone. Myself Khadar. Now I will be explaining you the work which I have done this summer. I will be sharing my screen. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. You can see on the left side, like my project will be live running. On the right side, like I will be explaining you what is the work which I have done. So yeah. Like I have gave it a question. It takes time to generate because we are using normal resources. So I'm running it on live, we can say live CPU. So we are not using any GPUs. So I have given the question. Now coming to the work which I have done. So first I will be telling like what is the main purpose of this project. Yeah, this will be helping the teachers to create lesson like teaching teaching the intersection of music and programming is a new and challenging. So generative AI will offer us an opportunity to assist the teachers to create a new and fun lesson plans that suits their curriculum. Also, like creating a lesson plan for a teacher, it takes nearly 2 to 3 hours. So we will be reducing their time by giving them ideas and generating a lesson plan for them. And this is the basic interface how our music blocks look like how our chatbot look like. Yeah, I can you see it properly, the image? Yeah.
Yes, I can see. Well, I do want to say one thing while I'm unmuted. It can take a teacher well, as few as 2 hours to make a lesson plans, but I would say on average 4 to 8 hours to make a lesson plan.
Yeah.
So this promises to be a big time saver.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
that is the main purpose of this project. So first, like how will we solving this problem is first we are having the guide and the lesson plans which are man-made up to now. We'll be extracting the content from that and we'll be split those into chunks. So why we are splitting into chunks? So our model can easily understand the chunk of data instead of directly giving it PDF. And we'll be creating an embeddings API. And these embeddings API are divided like how many chunks are there? Those many embeddings APIs will be created and they will be stored in a FIS. Like this is an free open source tool which is open source tool which is provided by Facebook. So we are using it. And like this is the data center where our data is stored. Up to this is the first part which we have done in the starting weeks of the GSoC. And then whenever the user asks a question, let us think in a user perspective. Whenever the user asks a question, the LLM will get a response and it will the answer will be given directly to the user. But this is the backend which is happening now. The user will now call the embeddings API which you have created here, and this will go to the which embedding. Like this question is related to which embedding, it will fetch that and it will do a semantic search. Like semantic search in the sense it is like a for loop. It will just run through all the information and just it will take the best information possible and it will rank it. And here we can see like there are some chatbot features which I will be explaining in the further slides. And then the LLM will get the response and the LLM will give it to the user. So this is the complete flow chart. I have made it simpler, like just preparing the data and training the model, and training our model with guide and lesson plans, adding new features into the to improve the user experience on the direct lesson plan. So yeah. So what we have done is, as I have said, there are feed the data about music blocks lesson plans, which are created by Devin sir, and some of them are by Walter sir as well. So I have trained them with those. So I can show you the lesson plans. Yeah, these are the lesson plans which are already there. You can see them in the Sugar Labs or Music Blocks website. So these are the lesson plans which are there. We will be training with this, and then we will be creating our further lesson plans. Yeah, based on the testing done by the teachers, we have incorporated some features like for a lesson plan, there are some basic features which we have to be. Yeah, I will give another thing. Yeah, I will explain about this feature in the further words. Sorry, in the further slides. There is also a feature of rating our responses, and also the model now has a memory. I will show these features one by one. Yeah, coming to the feature number one, first is the chat interface. Teachers can ask, you can see this is a clear chat interface. I can show you. It looks similar to ChatGPT. I think most of you have used already ChatGPT. We can store all the previous conversations, so the user can go there and refer them. Yeah, this is one of the main feature. And the narrow scope, I will explain after this. After our model gives this answer, I will explain the narrow scope as well. And coming to the song feature, as you can see, first I have asked to create a lesson plan on chords in music blocks. It will be giving us some of these songs from which we can use this for generating this lesson plan. What type of songs are useful? Since in the music blocks lesson plans, all the lesson plans are based on any one particular song. So we are going to use this feature as well. And then this MIDI files are the songs. After this generating of the song, I will tell you this feature as well. Also, like MIDI file in the sense, I can show you like what is a MIDI file. One minute. So let this answer be generated, because if you stop it, like again, it will take time. I will explain what is meant by MIDI file and all in the further. Also, like coming to the resources, this based on this lesson plan which we have created, our model will give us the some of the resources for those from the wiki. It will search or it will give some of the resources. And we also have a user feedback. As you can see, I will show you this. Here you can, if you see, there are 16 scores which are available. Let us think this is a correct answer, and we gave it helpful. And if you just see, you can see it change it to 17. Like this is a feature which I have added. So the reason is we can debug and we can change the code according to the user's perspective, so it will help the users. So I have added this feature as well. Then coming to the current development, like creating the images for the music blocks is a really hard thing, because we are having colorful blocks. So what we are planning is to create a blocks like this. You can see in the image, but this is really challenging to do, so we are working on that. And then, as I have said, like how our project will help the music blocks is, this will help the teachers to create a lesson plan. And in some cases, in very rare cases, I have also said, if the student have any doubt like what is meant by chords or what is meant by phrase maker, like he can refer our chatbot. I think our chatbot created the answer. Yeah, but I will show you the features one by one, which I have said, like what is MIDI file feature and all. So you can see here I have given the song name as, here I have given the song name as 2, I think. Yeah, 2, because Sweet Child O Mini. So when we go there and if we click on Sweet Child O Mini, we can download the MIDI file from here. And also coming to the wiki, Since we are asked about a lesson plan about code, it will fetch the wiki information of codes and it will give us here. Yeah, what is meant by crop. The users can refer this also, like the teachers can refer this as well. Now I will show you like what is the sign up page and sign in page which I have created. Yeah, this is the sign up page and sign in page. uh, I have shown you like what is the use of the MIDI file is. You can see if you drop the MIDI file here directly into the music blocks, like it will work like a magic and it will give you like all the blocks at a time. You can see like it is a GIF which I have created. Yeah, you drag and drop this. You see, as you can see, like it generates like a magic the all the blocks. Then coming to the conversational chatbot, I can explain you. Yeah, 1 minute. Uh, these all are lesson plans which I have created, like for explaining the conversational chatbot. Who is, as I have said, our chatbot has a narrow scope. Like if you ask any other questions which is not related to music blocks, it will say, "My purpose is to generate a lesson plan or answers." Like I'm going to answer only the music block questions, so it is not going to answer. Like this is a good feature because so many members will be like the users can ask any type of question, so it will not answer. So we can ask what are meant by chords and what is phrase maker. It will give us response like how what does phrase maker feature do in music blocks and all. If you, as I have said, it is a conversational chatbot. Like if you ask can you please elaborate it, it will go to the previous question and see like okay, previous was discussed about phrase maker, so I have to discuss what is phrase maker and what is the grid structure in phrase maker, and it will give us some interactive puzzle and it will give us some experimentation like what we can do. Yeah, these are the features in our chatbot. And yeah, that was the work which I have done in this summer at last. Like I would like to thank my mentors Walter and Devin like for providing their guidance and support and solving my doubts and while I'm navigating through challenges.
Thank you so much, Khadar. That was a really great demonstration of your work.
Yeah, yeah, but I can show you, but still some of two to three questions, but it will take time to respond since we are using Zoom. So, sorry, Jitsi. So yeah,
Yeah, that uses up some system resources, and
yeah,
because you're using those resources, they can't be used for the LLM service that you're simultaneously running.
yeah.
Um, no, that's totally
Thanks.
understandable.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
maybe just real quick, can you I know you answered this question last time, but was there a new challenge within the last, 3 or 4 weeks that you came across that you'd like to talk about how what you encountered and what you did to overcome that particular challenge?
Yeah, coming to challenges like last year, between the last time and the this week, there were some new models which have released like Llama 3.1. So I have installed both the models into my system, and I have researching on which model is best suitable for our model. That was a bit complicated thing. So that one I have faced one challenge, and adding some of the features. You can see our model can store all the history part, which was not there in the previous. Like adding the history, like it takes a lot of time. Like we have to create a separate ID for every person. So that it can store the history. So that I can show you like what is, see, you can see here all this history we have to store. So for every user we have to store this. So this was somewhat challenging, and MIDI file remaining over like normal things which we can. Yeah, those are the two challenges which I have faced between this gap.
Yeah, and you did you implemented that feature based on feedback from mainly myself, but also based on testing we've done with some teachers that, after you input a question, sometimes you'll ask for like a lesson plan on a different topic, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you need it to come up with new information on the new topic without getting it mixed up with the previous topic. And it's also just useful to have that history. um, so
yeah,
how many more minutes
yeah,
do you need for the LLM? Because I do have one more question. Perhaps you could show us, I gave you a list of different lesson plan ideas. um,
yeah,
I guess you didn't put that's part of the history that you have. Maybe can you show us
yeah,
like two
yeah,
or three samples?
yeah. I can show you like this was the recent lesson plan which was created by Nathan. Nathan was the student of Devin sir. Without trialing with that lesson plan, I have tried like what our model can give. So it gave me these 6 songs, and it gave me some interesting, like you can see here, like using the
Hmm.
pacemaker when the submave opens, give the chest sound, and when the people clap, you can give another sound. Yeah, this is one of the lesson plan which we got from the New York subway. And yeah, coming to the creating a metronome with this is the lesson plan which we have got for creating a metronome.
Great.
uh,
And I guess I want to chime in here that, if someone's looking at this and saying, well, this, what I'm seeing here isn't perfect. I think that Khadar, you know, you would agree that the goal here is not perfection, but, to give teachers like a framework to start from, also like a little bit of inspiration on an idea, and then, they can choose to make changes to it. Um, it might inspire a totally different idea, but, it's a way to get a dialogue going um, with the idea making process. So you can, you know, bounce an idea off the computer, you know, get a
yeah,
few ideas for music that you could incorporate based on whatever topic you have, some references, as well as, a nice framework to start from. It might come up with something that you really like. It might come up with something that's like 70-80% of the way there. And then
yeah,
instead of spending 8 hours getting it, you know, to,
2 to 3 hours.
100%, yeah, you can spend like,
Yeah,
2 to 3 hours or so.
because we already have the ideas, so we can just change it. Sometimes some lesson plans are really good, and sometimes it may give a wrong lesson plan, but we can correct it since we are having an option. So yeah.
Great. If your computer isn't ready yet, then I'll go on to the next one and we can go back to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so the next project is Mubashir's project. Mubashir, maybe you can start with your presentation, and then I am set up to do your live demo, and I tested it in the background just moments ago, and it seemed to work for me. So go ahead and give your presentation, and then I can do the live demo.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen once. Are you able to see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So, hello everyone, I am Mubashir and I have been working on this project musical transcription and assistance via generative AI this summer with Sugar Labs. The problem that Sugar Labs that earlier we had is that we don't have any way to convert this to convert the audio to music blocks. Like users don't have the option to play around that voices and like they can't convert that into music blocks. They have to do the manual transcription of the audio and then play around with that. So we have come up with a solution. We have been building a tool for this summer. So the tool consists of two parts. First one is the AI tool. Basically, what it does is it converts this to MIDI, and then we have the capability. We have added this capability to music blocks. It converts this MIDI into music blocks. So I'll give you a brief like breakdown of this project. What are all the parts of this project? So the first part of this project is this audio to MIDI conversion. So what it does is like we have two parts. We have created an intuitive like interface where there are two cards. A user can either upload his audio or he can record, and then we have in background we have deployed a model of this basic pitch by Spotify. What it does is it takes this audio and processes it and converts this into MIDI. What MIDI is, it's basically it stores data, music data, and it stores like it has this metadata, it has this note values, note duration, note start, delta ticks and all. And the other thing is that we have this MIDI file, and we have to use we have added this drag and drop capability to music blocks. We can just drag this MIDI file and drag this MIDI file onto the canvas of the MIDI this music blocks. It will convert this MIDI file into music blocks. And other way to use this MIDI in music blocks is that we can directly use the load button which is there in music blocks. We can directly use that and load the MIDI file into music blocks, and it will convert this MIDI data into music blocks. Recently, what we have added is that we have added this drum mapper. What it does is like in case of percussion instruments, earlier it was not there. We like figured it out how the this this MIDI data is passed by tone.js, and we use this drum mapper to map the pitch blocks to drums wherever we like it's necessary. In case of percussion instruments, we added that. And the challenges basically we face during this is the handling connection between blocks, because during this like entire summer we need to change the connection between blocks. Like in case of percussion, we don't need the set instrument, we need to change the connection. Like that connection we handling, we need to those are the technical challenges. And one more was the this MIDI data is bit complex because there are not like exact note values. We have to calculate the note on events and note off events. Based on that, we have to check whether the new note is overlapping with the previous note, or the new note is like overlapping with the previous note and it extends beyond this note. So this calculation we have to done, and this was like major challenge we faced during making this capability of music blocks to convert this MIDI to music blocks code. At last, I would like to thank my mentors, Devin and Walter, for their support and Music Blocks and Sugar Labs community. In coming weeks, like in the ending weeks of this summer, like last 2 3 weeks, we'll try to make this tool even better for users, so that they can like easily give their voices, convert their voices into Music Blocks code and play around those voices. Thank you. That was it from my side.
Okay, great. Stay here, but you can stop sharing your screen for a second. I'm going to share my screen, and I will do a demonstration
Yeah.
of this. So I'm going to share my entire screen because to show the whole process of how to do this. So I'll assume that you can see my screen unless I hear otherwise. What I have set up is there's some instructions on Mubashir's repository page on GitHub. It's called music transcription, and it tells you how to set up two parts of this. There's the front end and there's the back end. I set up the front end in this terminal, and then the back end is running here. And in my browser, I have the interface, and I have a guitar right now. Right now, it seems to work much better with an instrument than with the human voice. And that particular part of it seems to be just a limitation in how I forget the name of the Spotify code. What is it called, Mubashir?
Basic pitch.
Oh, basic pitch. That's just a limitation in basic pitch. But here we go. So I'm going to press record, and then I'll just play, I'll just play something very simple, and then I'll pull it into music blocks. I think it would be hard for me to play the MIDI for you, but I'll try to find a way to do that after showing you what it is like in music blocks. So here we go. Here's the first part. There we go. Hopefully you got the sound. I was realizing that I was playing, my microphone is probably coming through here. Yes, it got the sound. Okay, so then I press the convert to MIDI button here. I think I pressed it. Okay, there. Good. Upload successful. That's a good sign. And then I go over here, and I can see in the back end, I have a recordings folder, an uploads folder. So upload is if I uploaded something here. It's very simple the way this is set up. Recordings this is the audio file that I just made. And since I made a MIDI conversion, that is here. And so now what I can do is I can drag and drop into music blocks, and I am pretty confident that I have Mubashir's latest code checked out, but we'll find out soon enough. Yes. And so this is the MIDI conversion right here. Notice how easy that was. I just dropped it in, which is very nice. Thank you for adding that feature, Mubashir. And then I'm going to throw this away because this was the default code. So the conversion is not perfect. I will play it. It will sort of sound like what I just played, but I want to give people an idea of what it's doing so far. Like Mubashir said, we're still working out some of the details. I'm going to have to share my screen again so that I can get the sound from that tab. Okay, so now I'm sharing the tab. I'm not going to make any tweaks right now. I just threw away that one start block, and I'm just going to press play. So there you have it. It sounds like the ABC song, Baba Black Sheep. It goes by many different names. It is getting a lot of these really high notes. I noticed that basic pitch, right? That's what it's called, is sometimes adding spurious notes. I think it's hearing the harmonics. So some of those are from basic pitch, but other inconsistencies with the rhythm seem to be on the MIDI conversion, as far as I can tell, having done some testing on this. But so far, very promising. And as you can see, it's easy enough for me to run locally on my own computer. So all of that is very, very promising. So bravo, Mubashir. Looking at the time, so I think we should move on to our next presenter, Abhijeet, who will be showing musical ideation through generative AI.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. So, in this Google Summer of Code period, I've been working on musical ideation through LLM. So, basically, let me share my screen. So, what's the project about is basically we need to have an LLM that will help user to create a music. So what we have done is basically we have an LLM, and then this LLM provides us music. So basically, music could be notation could be in ABC or MIDI or Lillipond. So we have selected ABC because it was short in description and easily to convert. So we have used and the parser have been done. So basically, here's the any file you could take from ABC notation homepage, and they provide ABC songs, and here I have just copy pasted this a simple ABC song, and I just need to drag and drop, and it will convert into ABC. So basically here, let me drag and drop it, and here it is converted into ABC song, and here you could see everything is converted. And let me fix it. So here I have added those repeat blocks and all those stuff, and here you could play this and
So I don't think we can hear your sound. You need to share just the tab via Chromium, and then and make sure you share the sound.
yeah. So this is the basically song when converted into music blocks. Yeah, and then it repeats. So it have repeat blocks, and it have been added those structure. So
Yeah, those structural points are very, very, very nice, because you can see the structure of the song itself, and we're taking advantage, basically just taking advantage of the structure that's already in the ABC notation.
yeah. So there are some limitation in this music block when we convert into ABC. So there's some limitation in ABC parser. The I have known as like one is if there is hammer on pull offs, it breaks. So if the ABC notation contains any slides or hammer on pull offs, that needs to be work on. Next is it doesn't consider the bass and chord. So if those have in ABC, it won't work. So, but it will basically works with any ABC song. So let's say uh, mm, let's say search any song here from A. Okay, yeah, you could happy birthday. And basically a simple song. Uh, who they have so here they have this. So basically this is complex one, so you don't need to do that one because it's have some chords and some unfamiliar notation. But this
So,
will,
so
yeah.
Abhijeet, we can right now we can only see the one tab. But while you're here for just one more second, I want to point out the things that are working in here, which is meter. So we're converting the meter. So it could be 3/4 or 4/4 or 6/8, and that you have working. You have set key working, which is really nice. I don't know to what extent we have set instrument working, but it looks like it's working for this piece.
Yeah. And yeah, so basically it works with all the song. And next feature that I want to show is the, let me continue. So basically next is the AI block music. So in this one, we have converted like this. What it does is basically I have run a LLM server, which is basically a Llama 3 model running on my machine. And what it does is it takes user input, like suppose you need have ideation on some song, might be minute in G or like canon in D in this song, and it could provide you some suggestion like how you could use this. So basically I will demo this. So okay, so some let me refresh it.
Yeah, that what you just saw is basically it is expecting that there would be some start block on the screen. So if you didn't need to refresh the browser, and what you'll need to do is need to go to the middle. Yes, where the action blocks are. Yeah, the middle category of palettes.
Yeah.
Yes, action and no, not pull out an action, but
Sorry.
pull out a
Yeah.
start. There you go.
Yeah.
It's perhaps a little bit onerous in its insistence that you have a start block.
Yeah. So Devin, you want some suggestion on some song or?
How about say a simple canon in 4/4 time?
Okay. 4x4 time signature. Yeah. So when I do submit, what it does is basically make an API call to Llama, and it takes few 30 to 60 seconds to generate those. And let us wait.
Yeah, that's fine. So while people are waiting, I want to just point out. So what Abhijeet did is create a new widget. We have a few widgets in Music Blocks that do various things. This one will help you come up with music based on ideas that you have that you type in, just like what we're doing right now. And this should help in the classroom with, if maybe the main focus of your lesson is not, focusing on a particular musical concept, or maybe it is, but you want to, have a little bit of output to start with and not start from zero. Okay, so let's, so this is the output. Walk us through what we're looking at and
Yeah.
how this turns into Music Blocks code.
So
This is a reminder.
hey Alexa, stop.
Please stop meeting.
Just a sec. Sorry. So basically, then we have this catch me if you can. So this is I've converted into something else. So, but let's see how it sounds. So. Yeah, it basically plays this, and you could stop it. And if you like it, you could directly convert it into music blocks. And here it is. So let me remove having other blocks. Uh,
Yeah, so throw the widget away, and then we'll try one thing with it after you press play. And I have one idea for how this could be a useful little thing that we've created.
and let us play it. Yeah, and it plays this. It
Great.
much, yeah, sound is similar. Like, yeah, that's
Let's
the job.
try one thing real quick with it. So let's say that you can put the AI music widget aside for just a second. Let's play around with what you just generated for just a second. Let's say that the lesson that for the class is let's create a canon. So or exploring canons. So we could start with what you have right now, and what you can do is you can create, why don't you pull out one new start block, and now you know where the start blocks are.
Yeah.
And now pull out the action that says V1 line 1. Yeah. And then try this. Pull out a new note block. So go, yeah, at the top rhythm. And if you, yeah, that's fine. And pull out the pitch from inside of it. No, pull out the entire pitch block. All of the green, yes. Put it in the trash or just to the side. So a canon, has the same melody except it's displaced. So what you want to do is you want to put that silence block at the beginning of the start block that you just created.
Okay.
And then at the very beginning of that one, yes. No. In the start block.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's an extract feature if you do a right click on that. But yeah, you can do it this way. Awesome.
Yeah, save it.
Okay, and now put the action block that you also dragged out and put it underneath the note block.
You mean to like?
No, underneath the note block that has silence in it in the start block that you have.
Okay, V1 block you mean to say, right?
Yeah, don't put it inside the note block, put it underneath it, below. There you go. And then change the value for note block to 8 on top. No, not on the bottom. You want 4 on the bottom.
Okay.
And then change the top, just type in 8. Yes, there you go. So this is 8 quarters, so it's going to be displaced by 8 quarters. And they're both going to play at the same time. If you want to do one more fancy thing, you can change the instrument on the other one. Let's do that. I think it'll be worth it. Go to the tone palette on the far left, tone, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. You were there. And pull out a set instrument block. Awesome. You're doing great. And pull that action block inside of the set instrument. And then change the instrument to something else. Like
violin, might be piano.
Sure.
Yeah.
Violin sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, now press play and they should play together. It's just one will come in first and the other one will come in afterwards.
Yeah.
Awesome, bravo. Great.
Yeah.
So that's how we can use this new music ideation thing to augment our lesson plans. I'm looking at the clock again, and I know I threw a curveball. You did a great job with the curveball. We will have to go to the next person now. But thank you so much, and I hope this helps people understand the value of what Abhijeet created this summer. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now let's move on to our Sugarizer projects. Let me just look at what I have down in the agenda. Samarth Bagga will present first.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen. Is the screen visible now?
Yes.
Okay. So as I mentioned in my previous presentations, I had made a lot of progress and the activity is now almost complete. So I mentioned all the features in the previous presentation. So I'll just mention the new features that I've added since the last presentation. So I've added this selecting a background palette, and through this palette we can select a background depending on the friction we want. So with this gray background we have medium friction, so the volumes fall here normally. But if we shift to the wood background, here friction is very less. So if you add volumes to the board, then the volumes will start sliding and eventually they'll stop sliding. And if you then switch to the grass background, the green one, then the friction is very high and so the volumes don't move around as much. So the last feature which I've added is actually impossible to present in a laptop since it is a feature specifically designed for phones and tablets. So it will be the sensor feature. And in this sensor feature, if I turn my device to the left, then all the volumes will move to the left. If to the right, then to the right. If to the back, to the back. The gravity shifts as you tilt your device. And it is a very interesting feature which will teach about friction as well as gravity to the students who are using this activity. Since my activity was complete, I discussed with Lionel and he recommended that I should start work on another activity for the completion of my intern presentation. So the next activity that I have is the latest activity that I'm working on is a human body 3D activity. As you can see, the activity will look like this. You can move the human body around. You can zoom in to various parts. So the basic functionality will be to color the parts of the body. And since at the moment the activity is in a very preliminary phase, so you don't see much, but pretty soon you will be seeing all the organs that go inside the body and also will be seeing a mesh skin around the skeleton. But for now you can select a color from the color palette and color the parts of the skeleton. And I've also added a doctor mode. So again, this is a very basic view of how the doctor mode will look, but this is just how it will look. So it will say find the head, and if you click on head, then it says okay, the next body part. Then you select that and so on. So this will be the human body activity, and the idea of the activity will be to, in the end, share the activity between connected users, and then the connected users, all the users will be shown the similar prompt. Let's say click on head, and then whichever user clicks on the head first, that user will get a point, and this will be like a game for the users. So that is it for now. I've also added localization, so you can change the language of the tutorial. So you will be able to change the language if you desire to do so. So since I'm done with the 3D volume activity, I'll be doing another human body activity, and both of these activities will finish by the end of the coding period. So that is it for my presentation.
Great. Can you share one thing that you met as a challenge and what you did to overcome it?
So the biggest challenge that I have faced and I'm still facing now is to find free to use and open licensed 3D models to create this human body activity. And along with that, the models must be designed in a way so that each part of the model is separate from the other part. So if I want to color different parts of the skeleton, then the skeleton needs to be made from different parts. So all the different parts of the skeleton should be separate 3D objects and they should be merged together to form one full skeleton. And so it is challenging to look for free to use assets on the internet. That is the challenge I faced.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think this is a question we can bring to the broader Sugar Labs community, and some people might have ideas for where you can find such such images and what. So I think it's worth asking in the Sugar Labs Matrix channel.
Okay. I'll ask.
But yeah, that can sometimes be a challenge. Great. So thank you again for showing your work.
Thank you.
Okay. Last but not least is Utkarsh.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about what you'll be showing us today.
Yes, I'm just trying to share my screen. I don't know, but I'm unable to share my entire screen for some reason.
Do you need to share the entire screen or can you share just a tab?
No, like I can switch between PPT and project, so that would be much more easier. Okay. Okay, so I'll present first and then I'll show the implementation part. Sure.
Okay, we can see it. We can see it, but I can't hear anything if you're talking. Can others hear me? Because I cannot hear Utkarsh.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. Khadar, I do have a quick question. Were you able to get the lesson plan that you were creating at the beginning of this going?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Utkarsh, we can hear you. Let's try one more time.
Yep. So can you see the screen and hear me at the same time?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So as you already know, in the previous session of presenting the Sugarizer projects, I've already covered some of these points. So I'll just give a brief overview about it and then I can move on to the new features that I've implemented. So hi, I'm Utkarsh, a third year undergraduate student, and this is my second time participating in GSoC. So this is the project overview, which is converting the Sugarizer core UI to a new VueJS framework. And these are the benefits which I've already discussed. And the neighborhood view, which basically helps peers to connect with each other and share activities and do a lot of fun stuff. And yes, the general view. So in the previous session, I already gave some basic overview of what is a general and also some of the features that general view might have. So what is general view? So it is it is a feature, or like it is yeah, a feature that saves and track all the activities and your work on the platform or on the application, and it makes a segment files, activities, everything very easy to access at a single place. You can easily search and filter the activities based on your requirements. You can manage those entries. So it helps you to stay productive and organized with your activities, your files, doing assignments, etc. And it also has three types of entries. The first one is local entry. So local is which is stored on your laptop, like when you are offline, or like you locally doing the activity. The second one is remote, like if you are connected with a server, like in a classroom, if you're connected to a server, then you can view all of your entries on the server. And the third one is shared. So the whole classroom can see those activities or entries that are shared on the server. So all the users on the same server will be able to see those activities. So so it also helps you to share your files, or like teacher can share assignments, etc. So these are the key features I've implemented. So the list view, activity handling. So I'll be showing all of these features one by one. These are the other features. So let me just show all of these features real quick in Sugarizer application.
Utkarsh, give me 1 second. I'm going to restart the stream. Otherwise, it might stop in the middle of this. Again. Okay, keep going.
So, yep. So I hope you are able to see the application.
Yes.
So this is the general view. This is the whole list view I implemented, which gives you functionality to manage your entries. You can start those entries. You can see the timestamps, etc. Then we have this. This is local entries. So local stored in our memory and stuff. This is the remote entries. So these are coming from server, the Sugarizer server I'm connected to, and these are all the shared activities. So there are a lot of shared activities too. I've copied. So these are shared between all of the users. So you can also share your activity by just clicking here and this one, copy to share. So it will be shared to all of the Sugarizer users. So the next step is filtering, sorting functionality. Like if you want to filter with my PDF, so you can filter it. Then you have various sorting option. You can sort by activity name. So like if I want all the activities with I don't know, like chess. So these are all the activities, chess activities. Then we can also sort it based on time. So like by default it is anytime. You can sort it by today, since yesterday, etc. Filter it by etc. And these are the sort options. Like here, if you sort by size, you can see the size here. So 144 KB is the maximum size, and as you go down, the size decreases. You can also sort by creation date. So when you actually created the activity, this one is the latest I've implemented. Also, there is a synchronization feature. So like if you're using multiple devices, so if you want to sync your work, your entries, or anything to your other devices, so you can just hit this synchronize button. So this synchronize button will sync all of your activities from server, and so everything is consistent between devices. And if you are going from offline mode to online mode, then also it will synchronize everything, so your activities are saved on the server which you are connected to. Then next up is assignment feature. So uh, teachers can submit assignments, so you can filter by assignment and you can see, so these are the assignments that a teacher has given with some instructions would be visible here. And this is just expected in 1 or 2 days. This is already submitted, and this assignment has due date passed. So I've implemented that. Also alert, so like if there is a new assignment, you will be alerted into the home screen that new assignment is there, and you can just click and see that this is the new assignment which is given. And for performance and like optimization, I have implemented lazy loading. So whenever wait a minute. So like as you can see, how many entries do I have? I have 101 entries. So those are a lot of entries fetching from server. So I've implemented lazy loading. So at first it will try to only fetch this much entries, 100 or something entries, and then as you go down, it will try to lazily load those activities. So you don't have to load all the activities. And, and as I've already discussed, you can copy to remote copy to shared journal, and you can duplicate it if you want. You can remove those entries, you can select all, unselect all. These are all the features for managing journal. And you also might have noticed that I am not on browser. So this is a standalone Sugarizer application I'm using. So I have packaged the whole code base so it works as a standalone Sugarizer application. So this all works as a desktop application. So the whole Sugarizer now works as a desktop app, and it works offline and online both, whichever way you prefer. Yep, that's it. So that's all I've implemented. Now there are some things that are still remaining. One of those things is like package the application as an Android application. So it works seamlessly on Android devices. Right now it works on browser and as a desktop application only. So that is still remaining. And I will have to include some tutorials and stuff. That's it. I'm done.
Great. So I'll ask you the same question I've been asking others. What's one challenge that you faced, and what did you do to overcome it?
So I think the lazy loading part was pretty hard because first of all I have to like lazily load the activities. So based on how much user have scrolled, like I have to fetch those activities. So before like when user is near the end, I can fetch those activities and I can update the view in such a way that it doesn't like disrupt user. So the UI is still consistent. Like you cannot see the difference that it is actually lazily loaded. You can simply scroll and it will be like it was always there. So that was a tricky part to do. And also like if you have 300 or 400 entries, so we cannot render all of those. Like if you have a low end Android device, so loading or painting that many SVGs would be performance heavy. So I've also implemented that. So at max, you will only load like you only paint 128 activities at a time. So it is everything is dynamic. So if you scroll up, it will automatically remove the below entries. It will automatically show the above entries. So you will not feel like that it is being loaded. But yeah, it optimizes it, and it will makes Sugarizer more performant.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. Khadar, did you want to show your lesson plan that you were making in the background?
Okay, the lesson plan which okay, 1 minute. The lesson plan which I have stopped. That is what you're talking.
Oh, I thought you were making a lesson plan in the background, and it was slowly generating because you were running Jitsi at the same time. Do you want to
Yeah,
show that, or
yeah, I can show that if you want.
yeah, just real quick since
Yeah,
we mentioned it
one
earlier.
just 1 minute because I have stopped the server. Now I have to set up.
That's fine. I do have a question for everyone. Did everyone have a good time this summer so far? I know it's not quite over. We still have like 2.5 more weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Like for me, it was a great summer. Like I learned a lot of new things. Yeah,
Others can chime in too. Mubashir, Abhijeet, Samarth, Utkarsh. How was your summer?
Yeah, it was
It was
great.
great. Learned a lot of new things. Like the meetings with mentors are pretty good.
yeah. Not only coding, but also like learn some of the concepts in music as well. Like what are chords? Because chords, phrase maker. I have learned some of the concepts in music as well. Yeah, can we see the lesson plan now?
I can see your screen. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
we
is the
can see it.
lesson plan which it got created. Like as I have mentioned, I have given the number as you can choose whichever song you want. I have chosen two, so brown eyed girl. So it will be fetching the previous question table and it started 1 minute. It started creating the lesson plan here. Yeah, it follows the structure which is there in the we can say music blocks. What are all the what is the structure? Yeah, it generated. Yeah, this is the lesson plan. Like, these are the MIDI files which I have already shown you, like how we can use it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. As it is the video, I can show you here. Yeah. How you can like this is the zip file which we can directly put it in the it generates as Mubashir is doing this. So yeah. Got
Great. Yeah, thank you for that demo. Since you mentioned it, I wanted to make sure that you got an opportunity to show
yeah
it.
yeah because like since we are using Jitsi, it takes time to respond because it is running on my local system. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I just have some final words for people watching. First of all, bravo to these 5 Google Summer of Code interns who were working on music blocks and Sugarizer. That was a great demonstration. And it's great that we got to see the start, the middle, and the end. And I think that'll answer a lot of questions for people that are interested in Google Summer of Code in the future, of what it's like, how you work, how you solve problems. This is all being done under the umbrella of Sugar Labs, which is now a 501c3 nonprofit. We do things like you see here. We work on tools that are free, libre, open source, so that kids have the freedom to, not just use the tools, but learn how they work and eventually contribute to them. If you go to our website, sugarlabs.org, you can read more about what we do. If you want to get involved in any way, I do recommend going to the bottom of the page. And there are some links to different ways you can follow our work on social media, as well as links to how you can chat with us on Matrix, as well as find our code on GitHub, as well as donate to our sustainability. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you join us next week. We will be doing something similar, but with a different cohort from Google Summer of Code. And then join us in 3 weeks, and we will be showing the DMP projects. So thank you again to our mentees, our interns, our contributors from Google Summer of Code. And bravo again, everyone. Good job. Okay. I will end the stream. I got to push this button and then I am done. There we go.